What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. It is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, and I have another emergency update to share with you guys. Right now, it is 7:22 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have two nuclear war command and control planes up in the air right now. We have one flying over southern Idaho, and then we also have one flying over the Chesapeake Bay. And these planes are responsible for remotely launching all of our Minuteman III ICBMs in the event that ground-based command and control gets wiped out in a nuclear war. And they're also responsible for communicating with our nuclear-armed submarines. And we have a ton of U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemasters going to and from Israel this evening. And basically what this tells me is that the U.S. and Israel are in the final stages of preparing for this massive invasion of Gaza, possibly a preemptive attack on Hezbollah, maybe even Iran. But here we have half a dozen C-17s, going to and from Israel this evening. Okay, that's a massive amount of C-17s, and probably in the last week or so, I'm sure there's probably been over 100 C-17s going to and from Israel, loaded with ammunition, weapons, etc. Israel is one of the United States' top allies, so they always get priority in any kind of situation where they're under attack. Okay, so the Israeli Defense Forces have apparently completed all preparations for the ground operation in Gaza, and the Israeli army has begun building several field hospitals and trauma centers in northern Israel, likely in preparation for a war with Hezbollah on the border with Lebanon. Okay, so that's very concerning. Field hospitals and trauma centers being built in northern Israel along the border with Lebanon. We have an Israeli broadcasting corporation reporting that the Israeli army is preparing to move on the ground. Okay, where they're going to be going, we have no idea, but the Israeli army is prepared. We have Israeli Channel 12 saying that the Israeli War Cabinet made it clear to Biden that the ground operation in Gaza is inevitable. Okay, so basically, Netanyahu and his cabinet made it very clear to Biden that they're going to go in to Gaza. Okay, and how and when, obviously, we don't know, but they're basically not backing down from that. Okay. And Biden was in Israel earlier today. He's already on his way back here. So I expect that the soonest this campaign is going to start, if it starts the way that we think it's going to start, which is a ground invasion of Gaza, it's going to start the soonest tonight sometime, if not tomorrow. But I expect the next couple of days something huge to happen, okay? And it's possible that Hezbollah is going to do a preemptive attack on Israel, along with Iran. I mean, we just don't know. Okay. It's possible that Israel is going to wait for that second carrier strike group to arrive. So we'll have to wait and see. But the next couple of days are going to be very, very intense. And you can count on me to bring you guys regular updates. And when this whole situation kicks off, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to try to go live 24/7 if I have to. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit the little bell icon so this way you can get notified every time I upload or every time I go live. And what you're looking at here are the flight paths of a British fighter jet along with a British aerial refueler that took off from Turkey. Both of them took off from southern Turkey near Syria. And this is basically almost live. I mean, I took this screenshot just a few minutes before I started filming this video. So this is valid as of probably 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. And you can see both of these planes here, the fighter jet and the aerial refueler, flying really close to each other, and they're both heading down towards Israel and towards Lebanon. This is the second or third fighter jet that I've personally tracked in the Eastern Mediterranean from the UK. So the UK is operating in this area. They do have their Eurofighter Typhoons, okay? And I'm sure there's F-35s, and I'm sure there's all kinds of other, assets in the region, okay? So things are about to get crazy, guys. Like I said, be prepared for maybe a surprise attack on Israel from Hezbollah or Iran or both, because they know that Israel's going to make their big move on Gaza. So they may just decide to strike Israel first, or they may wait for Israel to go into Gaza. And then once Israel is bogged down in a big urban war in Gaza, then Hezbollah is going to go in. But, you don't build field hospitals and trauma centers for no reason, okay? So very concerning stuff going on. We also currently have a sub-Hunter plane. This is a British P-8 Poseidon in the Eastern Mediterranean here, okay, patrolling the area where the U.S. aircraft carrier is. And here we have Biden's doomsday plane with 2 nuclear war command and control planes in the air. This was earlier today in the afternoon. So Biden should already be like halfway across the Atlantic right now. And so he really made a quick visit. I mean, he was in Israel literally just like one day. So that tells you how severe the situation is for him to be there for such a short period of time. We know that Putin is in China right now. He's probably going to be leaving tomorrow, I assume. And the Times of UK says that Biden gave Netanyahu the green light to invade Gaza, according to accounts of closed-door meetings between the two. And the U.S. 6th Fleet Blue Ridge-class command and control ship, the USS Mount Whitney, departed Italy today in support of U.S. operations in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so this is that ship. Okay, this is some kind of command and control ship, a Blue Ridge class command and control ship, the USS Mount Whitney, okay, heading to the Eastern Mediterranean. And this is on top of the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is on its way from the Persian Gulf to the Eastern Med, okay, and that one has 2,500 Marines on board with all kinds of other assets. So the U.S. is really gearing up for a major escalation. A second aircraft carrier strike group is on its way as well, potentially a British aircraft carrier and another American aircraft carrier that's empty also going there. Okay, so it's really serious what's going on here, guys. Okay, very, very serious, very tense situation right now. Germany has deployed their KSK special forces to Cyprus, and these special forces are specializing in counterterrorism and specifically hostage rescue. Okay, so Germany deploying their tier 1 operators to Cyprus. Okay, these are the best of the best that Germany has. That's like the German Delta Force or Navy SEALs of Germany. And they're going to Cyprus because guess what? They're going to try to get those hostages out of Gaza. Okay, and there's already U.S. tier 1 assets in Cyprus and in that region. A defense official told Sky News Arabia that U.S. bases are on exceptional alert to protect installations and embassies in several countries, okay? The American Secretary of Defense warned Hezbollah to stop the fire on the northern border, okay? So stop firing into northern Israel. The Secretary of Defense here in the U.S., Lloyd Austin, okay? He's warning Hezbollah, stop it, okay? They've been warning Hezbollah over and over. The U.S. has been warning them. Biden, Blinken, all of these guys, they've been warning Iran, Hezbollah over and over and over. Do not take advantage of the situation or we will act, okay? And Iran is saying that they're going to get involved. So both sides are not going to back down. And this update is being sponsored by My Patriot Supply. If you use the link in the description below this video, you can save 25% off of My Patriot Supply emergency food. And that link is preparewithnyprepper.com. They have a 3-month and a 2-week emergency food supply. And the 3-month emergency food supply comes in 6 rugged water-resistant buckets about the size of a 5-gallon bucket, so they're pretty compact. You can easily store them in small spaces, and this food has a 25-year shelf life. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of their 3-month emergency food supply. And they also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which I think is the absolute minimum that everybody should have. This 2-week emergency food supply you could also use for camping trips. Preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off. They also have a general store. So if you click on this logo here, when you get to my page, it'll take you to their general store, and they have all kinds of prepping and survival items. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of My Patriot Supply emergency food. The Bahraini Ministry of Foreign Affairs asked its citizens to leave Lebanon immediately. We have a senior political leader of Hamas meeting Chinese and Russian envoys in 2 separate meetings today. That's pretty interesting. The Turkish foreign minister met with the Iranian foreign minister today. Here's a picture of them right here. The Iranian foreign minister is on the right, Turkish on the left. And this Iranian foreign minister, I mean, he's said some crazy stuff. Just absolutely crazy. And we have the Palestinian ambassador to Moscow telling Sky News Arabia that we will never accept displacement, whatever the cost. Okay, so what basically he's saying is that they're not going to allow Palestinians to be kicked out of Gaza and for Gaza to be absorbed into Israel. Okay, so they're not going to allow Israel to just occupy and conquer and annex, Gaza. Okay. The Jordanians are saying that we will consider any attempt to displace Palestinians from the West Bank as a declaration of war. Okay, that's Jordan. Okay, Jordan, which is normally kind of a Western-friendly country, saying any attempt to move Palestinians out of the West Bank as a declaration of war. Okay. Saudi Arabia is calling on its citizens to leave Lebanon immediately. The British Foreign Office is also advising against any travel to Lebanon. The United States is closing its consulate in the Turkish city of Adana. The U.S. government calls on its government employees in Turkey to reduce their movements around Turkey to a minimum. The number of Israeli residents who fled their homes due to the escalation of the conflict with Palestine has reached 300,000, according to the Jerusalem Post. So 300,000 Israelis had to flee their homes. That's pretty significant, guys. Today, 10 guided missiles were fired from Lebanon towards positions of the Israeli army on the northern border of Israel. The Israeli Air Force apparently has been flying drones over southern Lebanon, and Israeli media is reporting that Defense Minister Yoav Gallant was warning of the possibility of another front opening in the north, and he said that Hezbollah has 10 times the capabilities that Hamas has. The Prime Minister of the UK, Rishi Sunak, said Hamas information should be treated the same as information coming from the Kremlin. Jordanian security forces are trying to disperse protesters with tear gas near the Israeli embassy in Jordan. Okay, that was this evening. And in Crimea, there was some kind of a direct impact reported in Sevastopol Bay, which is where the Russian Black Sea Fleet is located. Apparently, there's been a cyber attack in Tehran, the capital of Iran, and there's reports that there's no power in Tehran right now because of the cyber attack. And we have riots going on in Berlin tonight. I wish I could show you guys the footage, but unfortunately I cannot. But they are very, very intense. The German riot police in Berlin has been deployed, and it's very, very tense right now in Berlin. We also have reports that there was a cyber attack in Tel Aviv today in Israel. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrived in North Korea, and Putin is still in China. Okay, here we have some video footage of these pro-Palestinian protests that were going on earlier today at the U.S. Capitol. This is the U.S. Capitol, guys. Okay, there were pro-Palestinian protests going on, and apparently there were a bunch of people arrested. Okay, but things are really escalating, guys. Get prepared. I really have a bad feeling that things are going to just spiral out of control very soon. As soon as Israel goes into Gaza, I think that's when Hezbollah is going to get involved. That's when Iran is going to get involved, and then the U.S. is going to have to get involved. And if you watched my update from earlier, I reported that Vladimir Putin said today that he has fighter jets patrolling the Black Sea now with hypersonic missiles, and they're going to be doing combat patrols in the Black Sea. And what's concerning about that is that the hypersonic missiles that these jets have allow them to reach the Eastern Mediterranean from the Black Sea. Okay, so even though they're going to be flying in the Black Sea, they could still reach the aircraft carriers that we're going to have in the Eastern Mediterranean. So is that a threat? Putin said it wasn't a threat, but it seems like a threat to me. If, let's say, the U.S. starts to attack Hezbollah or they launch an attack on Iran, then maybe Russia's going to try to sink one of our aircraft carriers, okay? But I expect all hell to break loose soon. I'm very concerned that there's going to be a multi-front war opening up, not just in Israel, but around the world. I'm afraid that Russia may go after the Baltics. I'm afraid North Korea may go after South Korea. I hope it doesn't happen, but things are really not looking good right now. So I'm going to continue to update you guys as much as possible. I might be back later on tonight with another update as information comes in. But until then, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.